I think we're live. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming and for all of you on the replay. And just so you know, I have decided to make this a Facebook Live just to get the message out there and to speak to more people that might not been able to sign up because it's been quite short in between the Switched On event and this event and other things happening. And I do these talks not that often, and it is really about sharing the my passion and also like the ins and outs of training as an aura mediator and what does it mean and what does it mean to you. First of all, I think that doing this work for the last, is it 11 years now? And I've done it consistently and I've traveled the world with it and I've used it to work with people. I've used it to create an income for myself and my daughter. It's been just an incredible journey. So I'd love to be able to share as much of that with you as openly and honestly as like I can. The what I think Aura Transformation stands for, as lots of other modalities do as well, is the awakening of humanity or the some sort of a spiritual shift in humanity. There is also it does represent a shift in consciousness that has been happening on planet Earth for a while, but we're at the very beginning of it. I don't think in our lifetime or in the next one or the next lifetime, like the next few generations, we're going to be in the thick of this awakening of consciousness. We're like at the beginning of that journey, I think, on some level. And it represents an increase in spirit energy in dense earthly planes. Our physical bodies are dense earthly energy, like matter. And the awakening of humanity sort of speaks to more spiritual awareness in the human body, in our systems and around us. But when more spirit energy or more source energy or more awakening energy enters matter, dense matter, or the earth as we know it, it reveals, it's like shining a torch into dark corners. You'll see all the creepy crawlies and things that didn't work so well, the grotesque things, the distorted stuff. So aura transformation does represent I suppose, spiritual energy. It's not just a light energy, like light work or, you know, becoming more light. It's not only about that. It's a lot more to it than that. It, when more spirit energy enters the dark, more darkness comes up first. So it is there to, aura transformation supports you in creating more awareness in your system, in your body, and more clarity and less distortion. So it's a tool, it's a stepping stone for people to, on their own spiritual evolution and their spiritual journey. Aura transformation is like a stepping stone on that journey, or it's like, I don't know, almost like a vehicle that you can get into and support you in your next steps. My personal belief is that 99% of people that have an aura transformation, they knew it before they were born. Like that at some point in their life, they would end up having an aura transformation or being part of this energy that is about awakening consciousness and bringing more love intelligent energy. So I know that there's so many different lingos and languages, and some people you might think you're a star seed, or you might, I don't know what other word, you might think you're an angel, or you might just have an uncontrollable urge to support people and humanity, and that that's what you're supposed to be doing. Or you studied the Bermuda Triangle and things like that when you were a kid. I remember watching all those shows on, I don't know if it was National Geographic or where it was. I'd be watching all the, what's the strange weird mysteries of the world and the pyramids, and you might just have been super interested in all that kind of stuff. And I think that it is a courageous and difficult act to step out of the boxes that we are offered at school. It's not like we get to choose the module at university or school that is called like healing arts. That's just not in the curriculum. And I don't think the pharmaceutical world would actually really appreciate having healing of people's bodies and energy and emotions. I think it would put out a whole industry. So it is a difficult, courageous step to own that you are on a maybe mission that is bigger than you or that has been calling to you for a very long time. And it whispers to you somewhere that you have to do this. I'm not saying aura transformation, but you have to go on that path, that you are a seeker of the mysteries, that you are maybe deep priestess lineages, or that you have angelic frequencies. And many of you are already well on the path, and that an aura transformation is still relevant to you. It supports people where they are at. It makes you more you. Having an aura transformation is peeling back the thousands of years of layers that have been built up over years on humanity. So we dissolve old auras. I know that sounds absolutely bonkers. I remember being like a few months after my training, I ended up in South Africa sharing about aura transformation. And I would wake up in the morning, that twilight time when you're just waking up, and I'm going, what am I doing? I'm like transforming auras. It just seemed so incomprehensible, but it changed my life so much that I knew I had to train in it, and I knew it was my path. The minute I heard about it, I knew, and now I'm the director of aura transformation. So deep down, I knew I would have to do this. It was like part of my path. Where was I? I'm so good at going off on tangents. My understanding, because it's very hard to understand the whole of humanity in your bones and DNA and in your energy, but my intuition, my oracle, my experience of hundreds and hundreds of aura transformations is that dissolving the old aura is like dissolving 26,000 years of weird human history off of your energetic field, which then means that there's a lot of energy around you that doesn't actually belong to you or that you don't need to be carrying around. It's almost like walking around with sacks of Lego. And it's not even going to build your house. You can't live in a Lego house. So it's almost that's a terrible example, but it's just like being laden with so much information that isn't really yours. So there's the inherited stuff, like your bloodline inheritance, your family traumas, 10 generations ago, you lost your village, your ancestors lost their village, and they're forever scared of losing everything, so they don't take risks. But then now you've struggled to take a risk. That kind of information is all in your system. It's informed you of it's your epigenetics. And that is the aura. The aura is full of everything that's had anything to do with you at any point in the history of the universe and the world is in your auric field, it's in your energy, it's in your cells, it's in your bones. And so there's a part of you that is the bloodline part of you, the part that inherits information from your ancestry. And there's so much information. Imagine how many ancestors it took to make you here. So there's a lot of information in your energy field from ancestry, but there's also a lot of energy in your field that is maybe otherworldly, or if you're that way inclined, past life information, planetary information. If you came from that your energy is particularly influenced by Jupiter energy or Venus energy or Uranus energy. So that's where somewhere in you is knitted some sort of missions. You've got like a little menu of missions that you are on here. And what that translates to in everyday world is that you walk around emitting a particular frequency. And it is unique to you, definitely. But it is made up of ancient stuff, lineages, like bloodline stuff, but also lineages of who you are. So it is a unique mix of you and your life experiences. But it is that you walk around and you potentially are seeding the environment with very high frequency, next level, futuristic energies that are here to change humanity, change the planet. So, but what happens in our human life and through the history of the old Aura, the 26,000-year-old operating system, is that we became more and more shut down. We become more and more burdened and laden and boxed in and veiled and scrambled and distorted and plugged into and manipulated and coerced and hypnotized and vampired, or whatever the word is for that, like the life being sucked out of you. There are thought forms and entities and generational curses, and there's ancient spells. There is so much information in the 360,000, 360 view of the human in all directions and all layers of existence. And those are dimensions that you can't see with your eye unless you're very well trained in seeing it. So having an aura transformation is dissolving what is not your true self, not your true spirit, and not your true unique frequency. Aura transformation is a tool, it's like a procedure, if you like. You are fully clothed, and the Aura Mediator, the practitioner, holds your ankles for 2.5 hours. And during that process, we're having what we call the healing phase, that first hour and a bit. The healing phase is healing. We are healing the existing energy field to, like, in a turbo sort of way. It's gentle and beautiful and talkative, and nothing like crazy happens. You might maybe get tearful and process stuff you thought you'd long finished, but the crystal energy, which I'll talk about in a moment, the crystal energy comes through into the system and lifts up scar tissue, wounding, blockages, caps, binds, things that bind you from your expression. We might find an overbearing parent is so in your field that some of the language you use is just learnt, that some of the wounding you received at childhood is really holding you back. We might find some, like long lost ancestors still having like a traumatic impact on your field. We might find that the collective consciousness of your town or your village or your country is capping you, is surrounding you with an energy that is just too low frequency for you. And that in everyday world, that feels like negative thought patterns, feeling down in the dumps. If you're not in the right frequency for you and your unique expression of yourself, then you feel like, just low, like things don't feel like the magic's gone, or you just feel a bit emotional and negative, and you're like, this isn't really me. Like, if I was in my pure innocent expression, my truth, I'm not like down in the dumps person. So something's not right. So how do you the aura transformation session, the first hour, will reveal a lot of what is holding you back quite quickly, magically, quite quickly. And the Aura Mediator, if you train as an Aura Mediator, you are taught how to recognize these different energies, how to dissolve these distortions at a fundamental level, almost like a cellular level. And a lot of people that are they've done 20 years of healing work, they can get, if you're a spiritual person and you're watching this and you've done every modality and every workshop, and you hear me saying this, you're like, yeah, but I've already done this, I'm already there. I can assure you that having an aura transformation it's not going to be like save your life like it did for me when I really needed it. And it will for some people just be like, oh God, I needed that so badly. I don't know how, I wouldn't have known how to rebuild my life from where I was to then. But for some people that have done loads of work and they're spiritual adepts, maybe they have you have a very strong practice. Every day you do something to bring your connection to your spirit and consciousness there, or clear yourself. The aura transformation will still go to the very, almost like a mild footprint of what made you and your childhood, and any traumas that you have healed. You have healed them on a sort of consciousness heart level, but maybe not at a cellular level, where a scar might be found, a scar tissue of your spirit. Sometimes Like the other day, an injury of mine, like a heart injury, which is where you feel so broken that you feel like your spirit split into 25 million pieces, and you've put it back together. But having an aura transformation or working with that crystal energy, um, it really lifts up right to the roots of whatever it is that happened so that you can rebuild in a new way. So it doesn't matter if you're new to this, and it doesn't matter if you're a teacher of, I've worked with people that run huge energy healing priestess schools and things like that. People come to me or come for aura transformations that are engineers or nurses or scientists or teachers or parents or grandparents, people that have finished have a school education and people that are masters and PhDs. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're at, or what you're doing. It's going to support you in your journey. There's only a few things that we look at, which I'll talk about in a moment, about who can't have an aura transformation and why. But so just, I really, really wish for anyone that has been remotely interested or that would like to train in it to suspend belief in to what would be the word, like press pause on everything you already know about chakras and auras and energy and akashic records and blah blah blah, because this is different. And it's almost like going, when you have an aura transformation, you go to a new country and you don't have a guidebook, and your old guidebook from a different country with a different language is not going to work here. You can't go find the pyramids in Norway. You have to like adapt to the new place and the new language. So it is a bit like saying, just take a little holiday from knowing everything about everything, because maybe you don't know everything about everything. And having this aura transformation is not like other modalities. It is not, it is, I think, very different. And it has a few unique selling points, unique aspects to it that make it different to, say, Reiki or a hands-on energy. And I'll get into it. But so the first hour is the healing phase. We're lifting so much of old scar tissues, cellular memories of stuff, ancient stuff, but also we're really clearing the way. We're clearing your energy field from energies that are not yours, collective consciousness, ancestral stuff, lineage stuff that might be weighing on you. It manifests like when you're holding on to the client, it manifests as like being able to feel like pressures or heaviness or just like maybe sicky feelings, like feeling a bit like, oh, there's stuff there that doesn't feel like it's meant to be there, kind of thing. So we're really clearing energy, helping the client clear energy from their field of all kinds, all kinds. And it might be, people that they're in conflict with in the present. It doesn't have to be past stuff, anything like now, forever. We're helping clear that field. And then we're also at this, it's all happening at the same time, simultaneously. We're really drawing in people's energy, their own energy, thoughts, mind, emotions, care, love, anywhere that their energy is dispersed into their life. And that could be, clients, work, family, but it could also be that person you were heartbroken by, 20 years ago. And it can also be a house you lived in that you were traumatized in, and your energy's still there. So we're collecting your energy from everywhere. And in that first hour or so, we're kind of really focusing on you as a you today. How did you get to here? And then when you're full of your own energy and everything feels a lot clearer. And for those that are into chakra stuff, you're also checking that the chakra, are kind of aligned and doing healing work on each layer of the person. So sometimes it takes you down all sorts of avenues depending on what's going on for that person and what actually comes up, because a lot of what comes up can be quite surprising. And then we dissolve what we call the old aura. And that old aura is like, well, I would say 90% of people that come for an AT or that they feel that, I know I need to do this. Oh, sorry, there's things happening on my screen. I forgot what I was saying. Hang on. Dissolving the old aura. There's something moving, so let me just check this quickly. I'm gonna make it bigger. Yeah, so dissolving the old aura is like dissolving that an operating system. And 90% of people, that's what I'm saying, 90% of people that feel that pull or that like that interest in, like they just know. So many people, I mean, so many people say, I have never done anything like this, but I know I need to do it. That's the kind, that's what I meant by all walks of life are interested in this when they hear about it. And they're like, this is a real, something very different for me, but I'm going to do it because I know I have to do it somehow. Those people, 90% of those people that come, they don't have much protection left in the aura structure. So what we're doing is dissolving this old time operating system. It's like when you upgrade your car or your phone or your bike or your computer, you're upgrading to the latest model available. And that is pretty much what's happening with an aura transformation. So um, so people, I know it's kind of, I know because I'm live on Facebook, so I don't know who's watching. And I know that sometimes it's like, what is this crazy lady talking about? This is my life. So dissolving the old aura is like dissolving. I use a number. I say 26,000-year-old operating system, which is so heavily influenced and laden. I call it the USB plug socket. It's like a USB port. You know, when you go to IKEA and you can get those multi USBs, it's so much information plugged in. Every government and civilization and oppressive culture, colonizing culture has plugged into this operating system. It's made you feel not good enough or made you be discipline, what's the word? Like controlled or obedient. It's marketing plugs into the old aura and whispers to you that you need this thing or you're not good enough for that, or the concept of being a woman, a mother, a father, a good person, all those archetypes, they're all kind of plugged in to what we call the old aura. And so when we dissolve the old aura, there is no more barrier. There's no more film or veil between you and your higher self. And in the old aura, if we were to draw a diagram like of an aura and a person in it, the higher self in the old aura is like there's a little superhighway that you can build to try and speak to your higher self. And I remember before my aura transformation, I would be doing everything. I'd be meditating for hours and like trying to, be drumming, breath work, all the things to try and connect to my spirit energy and get some sort of messages like, what's going on and who am I? But my aura was such a mess. I was constantly having to like fix it, clear it, zip myself up, pull my energy and like I was constantly like battling just to stay in my body. And because I had no protection left in my aura. So it was just like, it was like I was so easily dispersed, but also so sensitive to everything. It was like being a sponge. It was like having no protection to the outside world. And I happened to be quite psychic sensitive, hypervigilant, whatever at the time. I could hear people's thoughts. And if I put my hands on people and did energy work, I would go home with all of their symptoms. And I was like, something's not right here. But traveling to your superhighway, trying to connect to your spirit energy and trying to, connect with the source of life and like, channeling and everything that you might be doing that's taking you out of yourself. There's no more, once we dissolve this old aura, there's no more barrier between you, your physical human, and your spirit energy. And this next phase is called the consciousness expansion phase. So in the aura transformation, we dissolve the old aura, and literally it's like blowing a leaf off a table most of the time. Honestly, it is like holding on by a thread. Some people don't even have an aura left anymore. They maybe have done. This is a simple bit, and then there's no more barrier between you and your spirit energy. And your spirit, this is important. Your spirit energy is crystal clear, unique frequency vibration of who you are. It is, in my understanding of seeing hundreds of people's spirit energies sort of come in and land around in and around the body and unfold, expands around you, is that it's like like a serene, peaceful, graceful, expanded, calm, enlightened version of yourself on some level. And some people's are innocent and a bit, like not wise to the world somewhere. And others are ancient, ancient. And every single person's spirit energy is different, like absolutely different. I've never seen two the same, and they all feel different. They are like a different music note or a set of music notes, like a different pattern, like a different geometric pattern. And sometimes they're a feeling, and sometimes you really almost see like the character behind that, like big tribal energy, or or like like a little fairy energy, or a very fiery energy. There's like everyone's has got a different flavor, but it is like the unique fingerprint. Your spirit energy is unique to you. And so when you are an aura mediator, you're training as an aura mediator, you've learned all the skills of helping people clear and come into their own energy, dissolve the old aura, and now you are witness to one of the wonders of the world. It must be like being a professional midwife when the beauty of feeling new life come into this world. And I know when I had my daughter nowhere near a hospital, on a hill, in a house. um, I know that the energy was so magic when she came through, or the labor stuff. So there's something, if you've ever witnessed that energy or felt that energy, that it is something akin to a very magical moment in your life. And when you're an aura mediator, you get to have many, many magical moments where you watch someone's true multi-dimensional, powerful, enlightened, wise self come in and around the body. But there's more. So we're in a phase now where we call it the consciousness expansion. And in this phase, you're really hearing a lot about, you're sensing a lot of energy coming in, and that is their spirit energy. And it's like reclaim your power times 1,000, times 100, where you're really sensing a lot of your gifts, talents, dreams, hopes. That menu I mentioned of all of things that your spirit decided you're going to come to the earth planes to deliver this energy, but also learn these lessons. All of that kind of information is gathering. You can feel the expansion. You can feel like waves of more of that person's spirit energy coming into their body. And I wish there was other language for this that was like, I don't know, sounded more normal or more easily accessible. But it's it's hard to describe something other than it is, and that's what's happening. So the person in the session is usually relaxed and kind of looks clearer, like more serene and enjoying the moment. Some people cry a bit because it's just such a feeling of coming home. And it goes on for like an hour and a bit. And then at the end of the session, we materialize the new time energy aura. We dissolve the old aura. We're integrating the new time energy aura. What is that? So this is where we can get a little bit theoretical and a bit technical. Is the new time aura kind of appeared on the scene about 30 years ago-ish, with the indigo and crystal children coming. And I don't know if you want to call them that. There's probably other names we could call them. They were, people born with a different operating system in the energy field. It is slightly simpler, it is wider, it is more expanded, it's less complex, and it's highly reactive to what is not truth. So the indigos are often seen as rebellious, difficult, challenging, don't want to fit in. They want to break the mold. They're like, we don't fit in school. We're going to cause trouble. So they're seen as problematic, but actually their spirit energy is much closer to their body, and therefore they're going to react when their spirit goes, this is too small for me, or this is too structured for me, or this is not, I can't express myself in a small box like this. So that's why they're problematic, is because their bodies are saying, no, this is not okay. Whatever world the old aura people have built is not okay. So they are like the avant-garde, the bridge to a new time. They're like pointing out what doesn't work. And they led the way, paved the way for the crystal children who, that bothers you, indigo crystal children, that's okay. It's just, let's just call it a mythical bedtime story. The crystal children are more, their spirit energy is more and more in their body. So the indigos, their spirit energy is gathered around them. And the crystal children, their spirit energy is part of their body. And that is what we're doing in an aura transformation. We're dissolving the old aura structure. We're helping the adult, not the crystal indigo children. We're helping the adult born before 1987 to gather more of their spirit energy around their body. And over the next year, it's not just the session that's powerful, it's the whole year that comes after and the rest of your life, where your spirit energy is going to crystallize more and more and more in every cell of your body. What that means is, and this is what crystal children are, if we were to describe them, is they are less bothered by stuff than the indigos. They look at stuff and go, it's not for me, but they're not going to go try and break it or fight it. They turn around and start creating their own world. So whereas the indigo might have been more of like rattling the cage and being like, I can't do this, the crystal person might say like, it's not worth me fighting that old system. I'm actually going to turn around and entertain myself with writing my own book or like doing something in my own energy. Like I'll just go whistle over there. And that's I know that's very generalized. And there are so many, every single person is a totally unique mix of all their lineages, remember. But the operating system they were born in has shifted over time. Aura transformation is helping adults of today shift into the new time operating system, which is like having better processing power, Control Alt Delete on the old cookies and files that you don't need. It's about really being true to what is right and wrong for you and living in your own sovereign power. It doesn't mean living separate. It means living in not giving your power away to institutions, structures, and histories and archetypes and societies that weren't built to look after you. So for me, it's like a revolutionary, rebellious act having the crystal aura and staying in a field of love and being as bright and grounded as possible. That's my rebellion because I don't want to let forces that were designed to oppress us to break me. And I'd actually rather learn to repair and get up again because they still break us, break me, but I have learned to repair and get up again. Anyway, I digress. So having the aura transformation is this new operating system, new time energy operating system. We crystallize your spirit. Your spirit energy will crystallize in your body more and more as time goes on. There's no race. There's no specific timeline. We say 9 months to a year, but I've seen people take 2 years. And what that means is that the session itself is pleasant. It's like, oh, that's nice. But actually, the year afterwards is where more and more magic happens, if you like. The first couple of months, we call it the period of grace, where you so like I said at the very beginning, more and more spirit energy, awareness energy coming into a denser system will reveal where the scar tissue is, where the distortions are, where the cobwebs are. And so in that first few months, the more of your spirit energy coming in and around your body, the more it's going to lift what needs to be cleared or that's not yours or that's for you to heal. So there's like a rapid kind of healing window at the beginning, but that doesn't have to be rushed either. Like there's no race really. And luckily, I mean, some people go do plant medicine in the rainforest somewhere, and they'll get all of their life's lesson in like in a couple of nights or one night or whatever, and then they have to go home and figure out how to integrate it. I think an aura transformation does a very similar thing, but over a longer period of time and in a more permanent fashion and updates your operating system. I don't know if plant medicines actually do that because I've worked with a lot of people that have taken plant medicine a little bit and too much, and I've actually had the spirit of ayahuasca speak to me and go, can you aura transform this person? And not in that language, but like I've done what I can. So this is not this is an expression of humanity awakening the Mayan calendar changing, the astrological cycles changing. It's all part of it. It's not, we're not like in a funny little, anyway, you know what I mean. Um, the crystal energy is a Venus energy. So working with aura transformation is more Venus energy moving into a collaboration with the golden energy of Earth. It's Venus spirit energy, love, intelligent, balanced energy moving into a kind of enmeshment with the Earth frequency. So that's spirit energy awakening with matter energy. And the reason why that's sort of happening, the theory behind that, is that the Venus energy and Earth energy are incredibly balanced in the elements. So they both have a very strong elemental balance, the fire, water, earth, and air, and also an integration of masculine, feminine energies into some sort of unity, union within yourself. I'm not talking about romance. I'm talking about integrated wholeness. And they both are sort of awakening a deeper love and life into cellular humanity, animal, earth, water, everything. So the crystal energy is like this Venus energy, and it has a different expression on Earth. It people like myself are here. The clearer I become, the more I'm able to fertilize my environment with the seeds of the message of the Venus energy. And I don't have to say anything to do that. Just me being me is doing that. You just being you is fertilizing or seeding your environment with the unique frequency that you are meant to disseminate. And if you're a healer, a speaker, a leader, a visionary, a writer, a singer, whatever it is that you are, you hold a family. You are like emitting frequencies, and the clearer you can be in doing that, the better. So this is just like a tool. Like if I had a broken leg, I would go to the hospital and get it set, but then I'd also see a chiropractor. Well, if your aura is not functioning to an optimal state for you, like your consciousness is moving fast, but your body and aura is not moving with it, or you're going far too high in frequency for your body to handle, or you're trying to expand your consciousness without the support of an operating system that holds that for you, then you need to go to the aura doctors. And we're all over the world, actually. And I'd love to, my favorite thing to do is teach aura mediators. So becoming an aura mediator is a magical, incredible journey for you as a practitioner, learning practitioner. The first part of your training is, well, first you have to apply and have a little interview. Then there's some reading, but then when you come here, you you go through a 3-hour activation to become an aura mediator. And that is like aura transformation times 10. That is you really coming into your own power, into your own grounding, into your own center, really clearing away lots of more information. I mean, you know, there's always more. And really coming into your center and power. So lots of people in the history of aura transformation, it's like 29 years old, this thing. In the history of aura transformation, many people have done it for their own self-development as a human, as a person, to work more deeply with this incredible energy. They've got the bug from having an aura transformation. And some people do it because they want to go out there and they want to do aura transformations on people, because the reason why I think it's such a beautiful modality is because it has a clear beginning, middle, and end. It has stages. You know, you're not just kind of wafting your hands and clearing some stuff and patching things. You're actually, you know, healing, dissolving, expanding, integrating, etc. And then you can come back for balancings. I haven't talked about balancings yet. So you're learning something quite structured. Someone asked me the other day, "Oh, is the Aura Mediator course structured?" Because they've been to many courses where it's just not structured. And I was like, "Oh my God, it's so structured. It's like a military operation when you're on a training course with me anyway." I'm like, everything is timed and like there's a schedule and you're going to do a lot in that training. So you come to the training, and you're going to have a 3 hour activation session, one to one, all about you. And that is very powerful. And it's very much about activating the, the, let's say, what word could I use for that? Like activating the channel. No, it's not channel, it's not right. The transmitter. Like switching on the transmitter of the Aura Mediator energy so you can do aura transformations. It's wonderful. And we really get to know each other that way as well. So you have whoever your instructor is gets to really empower you and get to know you well and hold you for the future. And then when everyone's had that done, we gather in quite smallish groups. Like I like 6, but it could be 8, it could be 4. And we have a very hands-on, intensive 5 days, but no one ever feels very tired. Like the crystal energy opens up the Venus energy is just like on the house. I have to tell it to go away after the training. And actually the training, I have a certification course tomorrow, it starts tomorrow, so I can already feel it opening up in the house. So where you're in that energy and it's working with you and on you that whole time in a kind of targeted sort of way. It's like the frequency is higher than you can be just all by yourself. And we sit and do the theory and talk through, how it's done and all that stuff. But then we have like a lot of clients come to the course relatively quickly. And if we're a group of 6, I think we have like 9 clients come for their aura transformation in a 3-day period. And each aura transformation is 4 hours long in 2 parts. So it's 2.5 hours. They come back a few days later for an hour and a half. And if you're training, you have your hands on people quite quickly, and people panic like, oh my God, can I do this? I don't know if I can. Oh my God, so the idea is that the decision was made that the quicker you get your hands on, the quicker you realize that you can feel stuff and that it's actually happening. And it's almost like a natural evolutionary process that you're facilitating and holding the parameters for. So you're just learning that, oh yeah, you're holding phase 1 and then you're holding phase 2. So you're facilitating a process that's unfolding. So you have your hands on 3 people each, at least 3 people, and you work in pairs, so you're not on your own. And I'm going in, whoever your instructor is going in and out the rooms, in and out the rooms, so that you're never long on your own. And in that process, you learn so much about, and each aura transformation is so different, but you learn so much about that person. You're able to have a nice, long, extended time. It's not just silent time or just talking time. It's like an amazing, revealing sort of process, and together we're all witnessing this person dissolve a lot of stuff that's in the way and then sort of blossom and awaken. And when people leave an aura transformation or a balancing, they don't look the same as when they came in. And I don't know if you've noticed it on me or my pictures or other aura mediators, but there's this it's like very clear, like the spirit energy is there, and it's not like thought patterns in the way, and like not shrinking yourself and close. You're not like this. You're kind of like, hello, I'm here, and this is my spirit, like playing around. So you watch people walk away, and you're like, go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. And I've actually been in hysterics with people that can't believe how light and clear they look and feel. And other people just feel very heavy in a good way because they finally landed on Earth. They were like floating like 20 feet off the ground all their life, or disassociated or somewhere else, or didn't want to be on Earth. So suddenly they're like walking around going like, oh my God, I have a body and I have legs and they're heavy, and like, like everyone has a different experience, but it can be just very beautiful and funny as well. So we watch all our clients go. We learn a lot from that and sharing information between us of like, oh, what was the struggle for you? What did you notice? And some people, their clairvoyance and psychic abilities that they knew they used to see things when they were a kid, maybe. And then suddenly they're like, I could see this and I could feel that. And then I saw this energy and I felt that density, and then I could feel the crystal energy. And they're the ones that were probably most panicking at the beginning. like, oh, I don't know if I can do this and all that. And they're suddenly seeing all this stuff. So doing that 3 hour one-to-one activation, like your aura transformation can already awaken a lot of your spiritual gifts and seeing and but or for me it actually calmed it all down because mine was out of control before my aura transformation. But the yeah, it can happen on the course where you develop more and more of this sight of your particular kind of sight or sensing. So that's part of your development, like there. And after the course, so we do, I think it's 5 days, pretty intense. You really get to know each other. You've got lifelong friends after that. We laugh a lot and we have a great time. For me, healing can be sometimes finding the laughter in what could be quite serious is, I don't know, like it really helps dissolve density. So anyway, I'm not saying, oh, anyway, I'm talking myself in circles. What else did I want to say? So after the training, I mean, you get your certificates. You can go out into the world after your training and you can start aura transforming people. And I recommend that you start talking about aura transformation now, before you train, and start getting people like, oh, curious, like, oh, what's your journey? What's your experience? Talk about it in lots of different ways and see if there are people around you that would be interested. They'd be like, oh my God, I'm so in. If you collect 7 or 8 people that are interested in having an aura transformation and you have them on a waiting list, and maybe you have like a beta, like a introductory price after my training. If you have like 7 or 8 people that you think would love it and have agreed to it, that's paid for the course. That's the course paid for. So it does help to start talking about it before your training. And actually, part of the training is inviting you to find 2 clients to come with you to the training course. And they're not there for the whole time. They come for the 2 sessions. And the reason why we do that is because we want you to get used to talking about clients. We want you to, we want you to be able to talk about aura transformation, inspire people to want to do it. And so it's part of the training. It's part of like getting over that fear of talking about that kind of thing. Some of you will find it really easy, and you could create a funnel if you know what that is. You could, yeah, bringing 2 clients, people are like, I can't do that. It's impossible, but give it a go. You'll be surprised. It's actually such a privilege for those clients to come on our course because the energy is so high, ramped up, that it's magic, a powerful experience. You have like the energy of 3 people aura transforming, like me and the 2 aura mediators, aura transforming you. So it's like a really held, beautiful space. And also it is much like a lower price than it would normally be. So on the certification courses, which I have tomorrow, it's £200 to have your aura transformation on the course. But in the brand new Aura Mediator courses, it's 180 for your clients. So it is for 4 hours. That's an amazing price. So it gives people an opportunity to go on an adventure, to have like a little retreat with themselves somewhere new maybe, but also to access this work at a cheaper, lower level. So we need like 9 people per course. So it's always great. If everyone brings a couple of people, we're sorted. On the course, you also will balance people that I bring in that are already aura transformed. So you can feel the difference of a crystallized person, someone that's gone through the process, and how different their energy feels from old aura to new aura to a year or 2 or 3 or 4 years later, or 5 or 8 years later. So you get a wide range of experiences. After the course, you're held for 6 months, and I'm actually the director, and I'm going to maybe extend this to a whole year long holding with a bunch of trainings to go with it. The Love Again heart retrieval course that I'm about to run, I think is essential tools and skills, not only in going in deeper healing the inner personality structures, relational body, your relationship to yourself, to your wounding, and like learning how to do that for yourself means you know how to do it for others. So when people are going through something in an aura transformation, you just are confident and grounded and strong, and you can hold people through their stuff. So I that is my thinking, is that it's going to become a year-long thing, but right now it's a 6-month holding, and that is 4 group calls with the people that you were on a training with, and eventually you are in a bigger group with lots more aura mediators. So in those calls, you do case studies. And I'll tell you a secret is that I don't want to read case studies and tick them. I used to hate that in my kinesiology training, doing all the, having to do all the case studies, even though it was really helpful and great, you know, it lands the knowledge in. So you still do a case study, but you get to present it verbally. So you're telling us about, you know, an explanation of what we, and we can then talk through problems and things that happened and what does it mean and blah, blah, blah. And you can ask me any questions. And because the training is so full on and beautiful, there's so much to this. Like Annie Senov that developed this wrote 30 book, no, at least 10 books about aura transformation. I have like 30 videos. There's like so much information about aura transformation. It's a whole new world. And I wrote course material I really worked. I doubled the size of the course material and made it really robust. That there's a lot of what's the word, like spillover, like things that you want to hear me teach again, questions like, or maybe we didn't get to do one of the modules in the intensity of the training, so that comes into those calls that happen after. So you have 4 calls that involve case studies, more teaching, questions and answers, and energy work activations, for 6 months, holding you 6 months after your course. So there's a deeper holding in there. There is an encouragement for you to get out there. Another thing that I bring to the table of aura transformation and being a director is that I have created courses that were designed for aura mediators to look at all the challenges that keep practitioners stuck in the healing arts when it comes to business and money and clients and selling and showing up and being visible with your work. I've created these incredible courses like Visibility Gateway, Money Gateway, and the Love Again program, which are all there to support you as a practitioner and the challenges, the real challenges of being a practitioner in a capitalist, patriarchal, weird world. So there's a lot of support there. So because it's me teaching, if you're in my course, there will be teachings on visibility and clients and how to sell aura transformation. And I'm developing future workshops for aura mediators. So if you did train, coming soon, there's all these new materials coming. So there's that. So I would say that with all the work I have is that I'll be taking people through a 2-year journey eventually. But right now I'm actually just talking about you becoming an aura mediator. And to become an aura mediator, you don't need any special skills or knowledge. You don't need to be a clairvoyant. You don't need to be a spiritual person, please. Like actually, people that have trained in loads of other things are a bit more challenged to learn new ways because they think they know everything about the old aura, which is great. You do know loads about the old aura, but you need to have an open mind about the new aura. So all you really need to become an aura mediator is willingness to have an open mind about a new system, open to feedback, because the whole course, the whole 5 days, the energy, the instructor, your peers, we're molding ourselves into our most expanded, grounded self. So anything that comes in the way of your confidence or your self-esteem or your self-expression is going to get poked. So you need to be open to feedback. And my personal ask is that you're ready, if you're going to be an aura mediator, you're ready to be professional, you're ready to play by the rules, that you can't steal aura transformation, and that you don't start mixing your old modalities into this one. What else is there? Um, we have things like waivers, like who can we aura transform or not. And these are there to protect you as an aura mediator. And so we have a system, like what you need to say to people before they have an AT, what kind of preparation they do. We teach you all that stuff. We give you the resources. And also, who is it for or not for? We don't aura transform people or train people that are on antidepressants, because we need people that are in a solid, stable enough state. It is not a rescue salve. You know, if someone's like, I need my aura transformation now, things are really hard, it's probably not for you right now. You need to be in a kind of settled and balanced enough state to not be looking for a rescue or to be saved or to erase, just delete my karma. No, you have to work through your karma, darling. I'm really sorry. You have to go through the lessons. So aura transformation, because of also the 3 month adjustment period where more of your spirit energy is coming in your body and lifts up stuff that needs to be healed, you need to be able to hold that. So if you're not able to hold your emotions or your thought patterns or have kind of nourishing self-care practices somewhere or some tools to support you, you're not ready for an aura transformation. So if you're on antidepressants, you would have to professionally, quietly, calmly guide it. Like if the doctor says you're ready to start reducing, just everything followed by the book. Don't do anything silly when it comes to antidepressants. All I'm saying is that we have a rule, like we do not aura transform people on antidepressants. They need to be off them a fair bit of time. The person needs to feel very confident that they can hold themselves through all sorts of stuff, and that they won't panic. And we don't aura transform people that are dependent on drugs, alcohol, weed, because again, they're escaping. We're bringing people in the body, not like so. Trying to aura transform someone that's trying to escape all the time is really difficult. And I mean, it's not difficult. It still happens, but they're going to have such a long time to try and integrate and take responsibility for themselves. When you pull all your power in your body and you take responsibility for who it's a huge step in taking full responsibility for your consciousness and your expression and where you're going to put your energy. So we need people that want to do that. So anyway, there's lots of reasons you can imagine why we wouldn't do alcoholics or people smoking every day, because it's gonna be, if you smoke cigarettes, I think it's kind of okay. But having an aura transformation is like a springboard to changing habits. It's like a Control Alt Delete in the roots of habits. So you can have an AT and start rebuilding all the habits you had, keep all the habits you had and rebuild the roots of the habit. But in a way, we've pulled up all the roots. So if you wanted to change some habits, like you could use your aura transformation to springboard that. What else is there? And that is why we don't aura transform people that have had major psychotic breaks and that kind of thing. So we do have quite a long list of safety measures that really help us have very pleasant, great aura transformations with people that are happy with their aura transformation. And if you train with me, I don't teach silent aura transformations. We have Johanna, my teacher and colleague and friend. We sat down and we scripted every single possible avenue that could happen in an aura transformation. So we've rewritten the course materials. We've like expanded so that you will learn how to speak to people about what this is and what's happening to them and be able to support them in that way. And where are we? So you have an aura transformation. Then you can join. I have a group called the Crystal Gathering. We're changing the name to New Time Consciousness Collective. But anyone that's had an aura transformation can go to that group and have support. We have monthly calls. I've been doing them 7 years, and all kinds of people come. New people, people that have been here forever. We gather, we do energy work together. You will be supported. You're not just left in this new land. 2 months after your aura transformation, you can train as an aura mediator. And but longer is great as well. I was one of them that had the aura transformation. I was like, I need to train in this now. Like I just knew that I had to get there. I was like, ah. And so I had literally 2 months and a day from having my AT to training, but longer is good too, just so that you can go through the process yourself more and understand more of the whole thing. And then, yeah, once you're trained, you can start working on people. You're held for 6 months. What else is there? There's more resources. So there is a reading list if you are wanting to train. And don't panic because all of it, there is kind of it all comes together in the course material I've written, so I've been told. But is a list of books written by Annie Senov, and Annie Senov was a Danish lady, and her books are translated, and some of them, I mean, they all are full of golden, really important information. Certainly, if you're a geek and you want to train in this, it's great to hear it from the horse's mouth. Sometimes the language is a little bit clumsy here and there. And so Annie's books are the Golden Age, Golden Earth, Golden Age, I think it's called, The Crystal Human, Part 1 and Part 2, Get Your Power Back Now, The Little Energy Guide. The original book you had to read before having an aura transformation was Balanced on All Levels, but we now have a PDF that you can read for free. There's Spirit Mate books. Trying to think if there's any others that you absolutely need to read for the course. I think those are the books. And that just gives you a lot of information. One lady didn't read any books before she came to the last course, and I couldn't understand why she couldn't explain things or didn't understand what was going on sometimes. And then I realized, you didn't read the books, did you? And it took me a couple of days to realize. And she went, no. And I was like, so it does help a lot to read up on it. Yeah, I think that is everything. And I know that there's questions like, how is this different to Reiki? Well, Reiki is working if you think about one more thing about aura transformation, is if you think about dimensions of consciousness like a lift, it's not a hierarchy, but let's say it's like layers of an onion, or like there's a lift, there's layers of dimensions. And the first, second, third dimension are very much like the last, thousands of years of human history. Our parents, grandparents were all in the kind of third dimension. The old aura lives in the third dimension, and it is moving through the layers of consciousness awakening, which is very uncomfortable. And the old aura sits in that third dimension. We were born into that third dimension, and a lot of energy healing tools and practitioners are working on healing the third dimensional aura, which is great. We want that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging it. But when you when you have an aura transformation, we're like lifting you out of those lower dimensions into where the indigo crystal diamond children are, fourth, fifth, and beyond. And when you're in that energy system there, old aura healing feels a bit weird on you. Like, it feels a bit uncomfortable. So you have to kind of adapt. So if you're a practitioner of energy healing that works great with the old aura, if you really know, you want to train as an aura mediator, you're going to have to just have an open mind about adapting how you've been. Hello, Aslan. Look at him here. Say hello. He's been asleep all day because he was partying all night. Where was I? Aslan, you made me forget what I was saying. Reiki, energy healing. Oh yeah, so if you're a practitioner and you do different kinds of energy work with your clients, we always ask, like, do you earn a living from your energy work? Because, we want to have a discussion about how that could impact you. All it is really, in my experience, is that you're going to have to just learn, like, oh, okay, my energy is moving differently. My energy source of power and life force is moving differently than before. Not bad, not worse, different. And so when you have a bunch of things you say and do to activate energy when you do session work, you might have to do that differently. You might have to be open-minded and have a few friends come around and experiment and go like, oh, I can do it like this. So it's not that you can't do old aura energy work. You're just going to adapt to a new time, and your clients are going to love it. They're going to be like, wow, this feels different or clearer. And becoming an aura mediator, having an aura transformation just anyway. If you're a massage therapist, if you work closely with people, you're a therapist, you're a teacher, you're listening to people all day long, and this stuff is happening. And I know many of you have brilliant boundaries around not taking people's stuff home, but you know deep down it's like it's still a bit poor. Your energy field still is a bit porous. It's still tiring, and like you're absorbing stuff from people. And having the new aura and being a practitioner, it just helps you become so much more robust and clear. You don't have to do hours of energy healing all the time. You don't have to do hours of practice, hours of meditation. You are just in your body. Your spirit is in your body, and you're here with a stronger protection. You can be a lighthouse and a rock for many people, and you don't absorb their stuff. So you don't have to go home and do loads of stuff. Like, obviously, look after your body, and you can get a cold and things like that. But what I'm saying is that it's very powerful for people on the front lines of other people that are supporting and holding people. Having the aura transformation, so helpful. And going through the journey of becoming an aura mediator or doing love again is the more healing work and more uh, distortion dispelling that you do on yourself, the clearer and more solid you become, the easier it is for you to support people. The clearer you are, the more you can see where your clients need you. And also the more coherent the more clear and coherent and in your heart you are, the more you're giving permission to everyone around you. So becoming an aura mediator, having an aura transformation, becoming an aura mediator is life-changing for your family. Like my relationship to my family and my daughter is it's like I can't even describe how different it is in a wholesome kind of way, in a non-reactive kind of way. I was very in the indigo energy on some level, reactive and pushing back and this isn't right and da 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 da. And I've softened and I am just myself and I'm letting other people be themselves. My daughter is not my ownership. I can, like overnight, me having an aura transformation, within days, my daughter noticed. She's like, you're finally here because she's in her body and I'm in my body. And we can see each other properly. It's like incredible to be able to do that, to be able to be on the level with the young people today and for them to actually understand you and not look at you like, why are you doing all this weird stuff in your old aura? And why is all that, why is all your ancestral gunk and Lego bags? I don't know why I even said that thing, but like why are you carrying all of that? They're looking at the adults. That's why crystal children can be really out of balance because they are mirroring the adults. So if an adult says, "Can you please sort out my difficult child or teenager or whatever?" I'll say, "We're transforming you," because they're mirroring or they're trying to up your frequency and they're getting burnt out by trying to up your frequency all the time and calling you out on your stuff or fighting against your stuff. So having an aura transformation helps you speak your truth, to be coherent in thought, mind, voice, what you actually say, what you actually mean, your values, your heart, your guts, the transmission of your unique frequency start to align. It's one channel, not seven, not 25 different things all trying to speak at the same time, plus the trauma, plus the things that held you back. You become a clear one radio channel in a sovereign, grounded, dense, protected energy field. So it's not exactly how I planned this, but going live makes the energy a bit different. But I have an Aura Mediator course soon, hopefully. I've got 4 people that are pretty solid on it. I've had about 8 people solid about it, but then things happen and things happen and things happen. It's a bit wishy-washy, and but I'm so ready to teach. I've had one of the hardest years of my professional life. Becoming the director of Aura Transformation has been a bit crazy, and it's been a lot of doing things that are out of my comfort zone of genius. Like I want to do magic stuff with people. I want to do the healing work. I want to teach courses. Put me in a room full of like 20, 30, 40 people and let me do kinesiology, transformational stuff. And I'm on top of the world. Get me teaching courses on top of the world. Make me write like contracts and training models and like branding and I don't know, like logos and people. It's just like not been the funnest year. And I'm on a real, like my daughter's left for uni and that's, she's happy and in one of the best unis in the world. So everything is kind of clearing for me to be, I am an instructor of the Aura Mediator courses, and I am looking to train 100 new Aura Mediators. I want to create a movement of supporting adults through this shift. And also, just to be clear, we don't aura transform a crystal person. We don't aura transform like the ones that are indigo transitioning into crystal, but we can balance and do aura adjustments for um indigo adult. They're adults now. They're like in their 30, 29, 28, 29, 30, 31, 2. We have so much important information about this crystal indigo energy that we can support these young adults in understanding themselves, why they're here, how to support themselves, how to balance themselves, how to. So we can do treatment. We do treatments on people of that age, not only adults, just so that I know I missed that. And also, I didn't say part one of the aura transformation is what I described. And then people come back for part two, and that is the balancing sequence. We check how the aura's landing. We go through a handful of powerful tools and empower people to understand how to balance their own energy after the aura transformation for the year to come. But they can also come back for another balancing. I had 5 balancings that first year. Some people have 2 or 3. Some people I never see again, and that is the one thing that's slightly difficult about an aura transformation is you put the work into having the clients in, and then you might not see them again, and that's beautiful. You might see them a year later, and you're like, wow, they're glowing now, and you can see the shift. So it's like a rewarding in many ways. So I'm actually developing, and I don't know how long it'll take me to develop it, but there is the heart retrieval love again stuff, which I think is essential to all practitioners and healers out there and just parents and people. Um, and I'm actually developing ways of extending an aura transformation so that aura mediators can work longer with their clients and be part of that integration period. And I think that's going to be so powerful. So watch the space. There's stuff happening. There's dreams developing. And so the process now is if you haven't had an aura transformation, find an aura mediator or contact me. Second, and if you want to have an aura transformation, you have to read the PDF or watch one of the videos that, if you ask me, I'll tell you. Just so that you're fully informed. And if you want to train as an aura mediator, and some of you I know I've already talked to, and I know we've done this, but you fill out the application, and then I'll set up a little interview with you. If you could let me know you've set up the interview or book one of the calls when I have a booking call calendar thing. If you book a call with me, because I sometimes don't see when an application is in there. I don't know how to make it tell me that it's in there. So you fill out the application, we have like an interview, and then you're accepted on the course. And then you have to prepare for that. So I'm very much looking forward to training the next wave of wizards. Please come to my Hogwarts, and I can assure you it is professional, robust, structured. It is tried and tested. It's a incredible week of your life where you come to you're in the actual training. I have people that trained only like 6 months ago coming back this weekend for the sort of continued professional development, like a top up or to re-immerse. It's addictive to be immersed in that energy and to work with people and to share that experience with others. And yeah, that is it, I think. So I'm gonna stop recording. Thanks for the very long listening, and I'll take some questions and answers from who's in the room. So thank you, Facebook. I thought I'd just go live. Wait, is that still streaming? Hang on, I think it is. How do I make it stop? Hang on a minute, guys. I need to figure out. I can't see Facebook. Da, da, da. Oh,